Hello, this is Simply Psych, and today I'm covering Balance Druid and how to improve your DPS through WeakAuras and Bartender. So first, let's take a look at the build and the rotation. So the talents for this build are optimized for having minimal button presses and to help reduce the learning curve just at the sacrifice of some DPS. They are level 15, Starlord, to reduce the cast time of Solar Wrath when empowered. Level 30, Renewal, to provide a very nice emergency self-heal. Level 45, Restoration Affinity, to provide a touch more survival. Level 60 is Personal Choice for crowd control. I personally use Typhoon. Level 75 is Soul of the Forest, to increase the damage of Solar Wrath when empowered. Pairs nicely with that level 15 one. Level 90 is Shooting Stars, to passively gain astral power from your dots. And level 100 is Nature's Balance, which increases the duration of Sunfire when using Solar Wrath. The rotation for this build is fairly basic. Keep Sunfire and Moonfire up on the target at all times. Use New Moon's 3 phases when available. Fire off Star Surge when you have enough astral power. And fill any gaps with Solar. The only long cooldown to worry about with Balance Druid is Celestial Alignment. I open with it after hitting my initial Sunfire and Moonfire, and then just proceed into my normal rotation. Those of you watching who have seen videos on the channel before may be asking, well, what about like the one-button macros or GSE, Gnome Sequencer Enhanced? Well, Balance Druid doesn't have any GSE macros built for it that take advantage of New Moon, and New Moon also seems to cause trouble with manual macros, so it being a little bit beyond my grasp, I moved on to an alternative. This alternative approach to Balance Druid DPS simplification is to use a combination of Bartender and WeakAuras. I've pretty much always used Bartender as part of my UI, since it is very clean looking and extremely flexible. But previously I'd used Tell Me When to track my cooldowns, and I switched to WeakAuras while building this. I had attempted at using WeakAuras in the past, but always ran into a little bit of trouble, as it's fairly robust, but a little bit complicated. And luckily with some effort I was able to put together a pretty decent setup here. I was also able to eliminate a problem I had with both Tell Me When and WeakAuras in the past, which is a combination of not being able to see what hotkeys I have assigned to a particular skill when it's off cooldown, as well as making it clickable. Now, I know a lot of people shun clicking your skills instead of hitting a hotkey, but it's a bad habit that I have that I still do. So I wanted to kind of make the best possible method for me to succeed while still handicapping myself by clicking things instead of pressing the hotkeys. Thanks to WeakAuras allowing us to label skills and to have them only show up when we want to, such as when Moonfire is not on a target, or when we have enough astral power to cast Star Surge, this helps create a smarter UI. Bartender can be set to 0% alpha but remain clickable. So we simply stack a WeakAura icon on top of where the skill is on the Bartender bar and set the alpha of that Bartender bar to 0% after we get everything set up. I have exported both my Bartender and WeakAuras profiles for this setup and left links to download them below. If you're interested in me going through the steps to set this up manually, please let me know and I'll do a video on that. So, what can we do with all this? Well, I ran 20 total tests at 1.5 minutes each against the Raid Dummy and Orgrimmar. 10 without this setup, and 10 with it. And here are the results. As you can see, I did see a decent increase in DPS on average by using the WeakAuras and Bartender setup like this. I have a feeling that this has a lot to do with it being more consistent. I'm not casting Moonfire and Sunfire when I shouldn't be. I'm seeing when Star Surge is ready and just going through it that way, rather than missing any opportunities or overcasting spells that I don't need to be. This also seems like a good way to actually learn your character versus my previous method with the 3-button macro setup or the GSE method where it's just one button, because all your skills are still controlled by you, you're just getting a different visual hint on when to use them. And I feel like this can help you develop a better understanding of how your character is supposed to work. Because of this, I am willing to suggest this for any level of gameplay, whether you're just questing or mythic raiding. This should be a method that can work for you. Of course, if you are more advanced, you definitely want to go through and set up things to be more personalized for you, and you're probably going to want to switch the talents to ones that are more DPS optimized, but this general idea can be applied to just about any situation. One thing many people will notice is that I don't have any utility spells showing up, such as Renewal or Rebirth. I do have those keys bound to keys such as Q and E, and also have alerts when they're available for use, but I wanted this video to focus purely on the rotation of your DPS spells, how to get that set up and going, and give you some ideas on how to take it from there. With all of that said, I'm going to wrap this video up. Please remember to do the needful, like, comment, and subscribe.